How to build patient packages to feel financially secure. I need cash flow, right? Yeah, cash flow is a big one. I see a lot of practitioners. It's like, where are you getting stuck? Cash flow, cash flow, cash flow. I get it. There's a certain point in the development where you're hungry for money because you have a business and a life, and those things bleed cash. That's what happens. So you got to have the income coming in, and you got to have it coming in regularly. This is out of the top 10 reasons why businesses fail. The top 3 all have to do with not making enough money in time, right? So believe it or not, you're also running a business. So anything that applies to business in general applies to your practice. It is a business, right? It's categorically. So we need to pay attention to this stuff. You've got to be able to have income coming in. You've got to be able to have a cash runway or a war chest that can last you X amount of time, right? I recommend, if possible, you want to keep a 6 to 12 month cash reserve in place, if possible, at all times, so that you know that you could just have like no new business, COVID or some other catastrophe could come hit and just wreck your whole shit, and you're gonna be fine. You can coast for like a year. That's ideal. A lot of people are in debt coming in, or they don't quite have that. Some people do have that when they come in. It's a good safety net, right? To be able to do that, to be confident that you have that buffer, so that you're not freaking out all the time about cash flow, worrying about money. I've been there, right? I've done the thing with food stamps when I was very early in practice. I couldn't get practice off the ground, fast enough, and it was like, holy shit, I'm on food stamps and I'm slicing zucchinis paper thin, just psychologically, so it feels like there's more fucking food there. I get it. It's tough. It's really tough. I know how that goes, and the way out of that for me, and every single time this comes up, the way out of that is to develop your skills so you can provide more value, because people aren't just going to throw you money for nothing, right? You've got to be able to earn it and create a value that draws them in. And this is something that we work on a lot in our program. And one of the things to consider here, like this question is about packages, is the timing of how you're getting paid. So I'll give you guys a little tip. There's a business guy, I think Jay Abram is his name, and he has 3 ways to grow business, right? Here's how you grow your business. There's 3 ways. 1, you need more customers. 2, each customer can be paying you more money. And then 3 is they buy things more often from you, right? So more people paying more money more often. If you can find another way to grow your business that doesn't fall under one of those categories, let me know. But I find that a very helpful lens. So you can look and go, okay, I don't have cash flow, right? Well, most of us just default to the more customers, right? And by the way, he says customers, I say clients, because clients you have a relationship with. If it's clinical in person and you're licensed for this, it's gonna be patients. If it's people I'm working with online, members, right? They're not my patients, right? But it's the same kind of thing. There's a relationship implied. It's not just a transactional customer. But anyway, most of us, our little fear response is like, I need more new patients. I need more new patients, more new patients. That's just number 1 out of those 3 things. You can have more new patients. You can have new patients spending more money or investing more money with you per person, and you can have them doing it more often, right? Those are the ways to grow your practice. This isn't about squeezing cash out of all your patients at all, but it is about getting paid for the value you bring to the table and structuring your system so that that's easy for people, so it's a no-brainer, so that it's not you trying to like desperately sell somebody or worry about fucking how you're going to pay rent or whatever. Instead, the person coming to see you is basically chewing your arm off, telling you, hey, I need you to take my case, please tell me what the rate is, let's go, I want to sign on the line, right? This is a whole dynamic that changes. You can't be in hungry ghost land grasping, oh, I need more new patients, and have that dynamic happen, right? But it's something that goes over time. And the way to do this is to get the systems in place and to get your personal cultivation dialed in and your clinical clarity dialed in. This is why I have, right? Not just any systems, fractal systems that can grow and scale as you grow. Personal cultivation and clinical clarity, those 3 things coalesce to change the whole energetic relationship you have with the people you're working with. It's not about being a dick. You don't need to be an authority figure in terms of like just being a tyrant and just lording it over people. That's not like leadership, right? It doesn't mean that you just are abrasive and disempower people. Real leaders, you empower the people. And that's why it's fun. That's why they want to come, because they know when they see you, they're going to leave better and stronger than when they started. You got to be able to deliver that in terms of clinical clarity. You got to know your shit. You got to be able to have a prognosis, order of operations, all that stuff. Everything. I mean, I've got 30, 40 hours of that in the program. It's deep. You can go as deep as you want in there. You can even not go that deep and you'll still be able to start putting stuff together. But for those that want to go deep, I've got a lot of stuff in there. And of course, we're talking like all the time in our group about these things and at the summits. So you can develop your systems of the kind of care you deliver, which will make you more valuable, right? This also will have secondary effects on how you carry yourself, because you're going to see this person got better, that person got better, this person got better. Holy shit, this medicine's working. The thing I fell in love with when I first started this journey, this professional journey, is actually coming to fruition now, and I'm not getting dicked around trying to jump from style to style, to seminar, shiny pearl, guru to guru. All of a sudden you see the first principles underneath this stuff. You can see what all those teachers are looking at, right? And now you have a command over the information. That's what we teach here. I know it's ambitious, right? But yeah, here we are. This is what we're doing. So you get that. It changes the way you carry yourself, changes the way you show up, it changes the energetic of all your conversations. And this will help with the cash flow piece. Because yeah, you need more new patients. You're always going to need more new patients, right? But you need less more new patients when you've got your system set up than when you don't. Because if everybody that comes in, I'm going to explain that, right? You need less more new patients when you've got your shit together. Think about this, okay? I need 10 new patients, right? Let's say you need 10 new patients because each one only comes for 2 visits. Because you don't have systems and you don't know how to have a consultation and 10,000 other things, right? Skill gaps. So people are falling through the cracks left and right. Okay, I need 10 new patients. I need 10 new patients to hit X amount of dollars coming in. Or, right, you could get better to where people are coming for 10 visits at a time. So now you need 2 new patients. You need less, more new patients when you've got your shit together on the back end. And by the back end, I mean, I know I get excited, right? But the back end, I mean, you're everything from your market research to the things you're listening, paying attention to, learning about your niche or your patients or your area, whatever, you're paying attention to your people, right? That can be a skill that you can get better at. And it'll make you more precise with your language, because so much of this stuff comes down to communication. Why would a patient pick you over somebody else's website in town, right? Well, you take my insurance. That's weak. You can do it, right? You can lean on insurance as a crutch until you build up the skill gaps to just draw people in. Because guess what? Everybody that's taking insurance, if they could switch to all cash, I'm going to say everybody. There's going to be some practitioners like, I love taking insurance. Some people do. Most of them, and I was like this too when I was taking insurance. If you could switch to all cash by like waving a magic wand, you would, right? You would use one genie wish on just being all cash instead of taking insurance, right? So don't think insurance is going to save you long term. Plus the system, who knows what's happening with the system over time, right? I mean, I can't see it getting better, you know, and I'm maybe pessimistic, but like if that's the crutch, you know, expect that it's going to start disappearing. So what do? We build up the skill gaps. We get better. We become self-authoring. We don't wait for some external agency to just like give us more money. It's not going to happen. You know, we have to create that. Plus, would you want to? You want to be incentivized to do good work and draw more patients in. So think about that, right? You got your back end. How do people find you? Well, they pick your website. They pick you. How do they do that? The way you communicate, right? The imagery you use, the language, the videos, all those things. Those are skills. You might not be good at it. You might be decent at it. You might be okay. You might be great at it. Either way, we can make you better. This is a big skill. Okay, they come in. What are they signing up for? Do you have offers in place? Do you have treatment plans? Do you have packages, right? Do you know how to present those? Do you know how to talk about those? Do you know how to have a consultation? Do you have systems around all this where you've got the right kinds of forms and paperwork and you've got the right kinds of agreements so everybody knows what's going on? All these things are so important, because that'll make you need less, more new patients, right? Think about this. So as your sign-up rate goes up, and then your retention rate goes up because people are actually completing their treatment plans, and then guess what happens? They get better. What happens to patients who get better? They go tell their friends. They tell their family. They tell their coworkers. They tell the random lady in the fucking grocery store how great you are, because they stuck with you long enough to get better. That only happens if you understand the map and you can tell them that ahead of time. You want new patients, right? Well, positive word of mouth referrals, that is a positive loop network effect. That's where your output of your practice, happy patients, becomes the input of your practice. New patients in pain that need your help, suffering, struggling with some kind of health condition. That's sustainable. When the outputs become the inputs, now you have something sustainable. This doesn't happen on accident. Sometimes we can get lucky, but with intention and with designing these things, learning how to set up a proper offer, learning how to communicate it, learning how to listen right, learning how to present yourself out in the world, there's so many things you can do to stack the deck in your favor, you know? So in terms of packages, there are a lot of things to consider. We have a whole section in the program called Brick and Mortar Magic, and that's where we break down packages, how to put them together, and also how to sell them, right? And by sell, I don't mean just like grab all the money from people, but how to sell, how to transfer the belief so that people understand what you're talking about and why it's important to have a package. Not everybody needs to have a package. Some people won't want it, and that's okay. You can help them too in different ways, right? You absolutely can. Just have them pay as they go or whatever else. But you'll find instituting packages of treatments is one of the best ways to get more people, right? Remember, more clients, spending more money, more often. Those are the three ways to grow your business, right? You'll get more patients investing more because they're prepaying ahead. More often, maybe, depends. Totally depends. You can, I think that one, you're going to have to see how your mileage goes, because when we get more people coming in investing, then they just tend to get better. And maybe they'll stick around for maintenance, which is more often, but also they'll start referring more and more. So you get that loop too. You don't have to have all three all the time, right? You got to pick your battles. So for me, I'm optimized around people getting better, high quality, right? So maybe it's not more often, but it is more money than just somebody coming in and like, I'll try it, and they give it 2 sessions and they ghost. Patients not completing treatment plans, not showing up for their appointments. Fuck that. You start selling packages, it's a whole different deal. So how to do packages? Well, I've got it all in the program. That's all explained. I'm not going to reinvent the whole wheel here, but in general, what you want to think about is roughly what kinds of conditions are you seeing, and roughly how many treatments does it take for people to start noticing that they're getting better or not. Because you don't have to have here's the key, right? For selling packages. A lot of practitioners get stuck because they're like, dude, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know if it's going to take them 12 visits or 20 visits or 3 visits. I don't know. Yeah, me neither. I still don't. This fall, it'll be 20 years since I started Eastern medicine, this journey, right? 20 years into this. I still don't have a fucking crystal ball for all the people, and I can't pretend I do. But what I can do is I can start to understand we don't have to solve the whole problem, but we do need to solve the problem of, is this the right thing? Should I keep going? And that's a doubt in somebody's mind. And so what I want to do is find proof of concept and viability. And if you can tell somebody, yeah, within 3 treatments, you may not be cured or fixed or whatever, but you will know whether this is a good idea or not. Within 6 treatments, within 12 treatments, right? Within 20 treatments, whatever your number is. And I say go on the higher side. Give yourself some room, because there is a bell curve of people, right? And some people are going to be very slow responders. Some people are going to be very quick. A lot of people are in the middle. You start to establish that. I like 12-pack for most conditions, depending on your demographic, depending on your niche. I worked with a lot of folks with different kinds of aches and pains in a general practice setting. A lot of them were retired, so I didn't expect miracles out of bodies that were like 65, 70 years old. So I would set myself some space, say, all right, listen, we want to commit to 12 sessions. Probably somewhere in there, we're going to find out, 6 visits, 8 visits, whatever. We're going to find out how well this is working for you. But by the end of 12, you'll know if this is something worthwhile. You'll either be feeling better and you won't need me, or you'll know if you want to continue or not. You'll have that certainty, right? That's how you frame a package. Not, I'm going to fix you in 17 visits or 9 visits or whatever. You don't have a crystal ball, right? We can be good at a lot of things. Stop trying to be good at that. Don't waste your energy on that. You can set up systems and framing where you can be wrong a little bit, but right in the right direction, and people will love you for it, and they'll stick around, and they appreciate it. They appreciate the honesty, right? Because you don't know. You don't know how many visits it's going to take, And somebody's listening going, Jeremy, I do know. I know that it's going to take 9.5 visits for this. Great. Good for you, right? In that case, make your package align to that. If you have that skill, go for it. For most of us, we don't always know. So that's the way to do it. And then you just set up your package rates and just make sure that you have some kind of discount. Make sure it's legal where you are, right? Of course, I'm not your lawyer or whatever else. Make sure it's legal where you are. Don't get in trouble with any agencies or any of that shit. I don't want to hear how, Jeremy, they came after me for selling packages. Figure it out, right? Make sure it's legal. But if you have a good guess, like if you want to do a 12-pack or something like that, and you have a good guess that that'll help most people and you like it and it's legal and all that, then you just make sure that your discounted rate is still something you're happy to get, so that you don't get resentment when somebody buys a package, right? So you can have your per visit rate be a little higher than you normally charge, raise all your rates, and then have a package rate that comes back down to what you're charging now, if you math it out. And then guess what? The people who come in and they pre-sign up, they're going to love it. They're going to love it. And when they're pre-signed up, they come to their appointments. They've already paid. They've already made the appointments. And if they don't come to the appointments, you've got a policy. Hey, you had this appointment scheduled. I blocked off the time for you. You didn't let me know. You didn't cancel. You no-showed on me. That's just one that comes off your package. Okay, that's fair. I understand. Sorry about that. This changes the whole thing. You're not bending over backwards for everybody all the time. You can have good boundaries. This is how, I mean, guys, like so many of us start to burn out because we get worn down from dealing with the worst aspects of humanity just because we're running a business. The better you get at running a business, the less of that shit you have to deal with because your boundaries are strong and fair. It doesn't eat at you. You can do this for a long, long time and be really happy, but you gotta have the good boundaries to do it. So there's packages. All right, get to work.